In the heart of winter, a fierce snowstorm battered the ancient forest of Broceliande. Deep within his snug cottage, Wizard Merlin sat by the fire, his weathered hands wrapped around a steaming mug of spiced cider. The flickering flames painted golden patterns on the walls, and his familiar Archimedes the owl snoozed on a perch nearby. Merlin was just drifting off to the soothing crackle of the fire when an alarming sound jolted him awake. Creak! Crank! His sharp ears twitched, and Archimedes let out a disgruntled hoot. Before Merlin could react, the door to his cottage flew open, snow swirling in with the biting wind. A small, breathless figure stumbled inside, shaking off the frost. "Merlin! Merlin, help!" cried the boy, his voice urgent. It was Wart, the young squire with a mop of unruly hair and the determined eyes of someone destined for greatness. "Something terrible has happened." Merlin rose to his feet, his long robe trailing behind him. "Calm down, my boy," he said, though his voice carried the authority of centuries of wisdom. "What's the matter?" "It's Sir Ector," Wart exclaimed, tugging at Merlin's sleeve. "A wicked wizard has cursed him. He can't move. You have to come quickly." Merlin frowned. "A curse, you say? Very well. Lead the way." The two hurried outside into the storm. Snow crunched under their boots as they pushed through the howling wind. By the time they reached the clearing, Merlin could see the imposing figure of Sir Ector standing as still as a statue. His armor, usually polished to a dazzling shine, was dull and streaked with icy patches. "Sir Ector," Merlin called out. "What's happened to you?" The knight let out a groan, his voice muffled by his helmet. "Merlin, I'm trapped. I can't lift my arms, and my legs refuse to move. It feels as though I've been turned to stone." He strained to lift his arm, and the effort produced a spine-tingling screech. Crack! Wart clung to Merlin's robe, his eyes wide with fear. "He's getting stiffer by the second. It must be a very strong spell." Merlin stroked his long beard, his keen eyes narrowing as he examined Sir Ector's predicament. He walked a slow circle around the knight, taking note of the reddish streaks forming at the joints of the armor. A sudden chuckle bubbled up from the wizard's throat, growing louder until it became a full-throated laugh. "Ho!" Merlin chortled, shaking his head. "A spell? Nonsense, my boy. There's no magic here. The snow has rusted Sir Ector's armor, you silly lad. That's why he can't move." Wart blinked in surprise. "Rusted? Rusted," Merlin confirmed with a wink. "A rather ordinary problem, though one you don't see every day." "Oh, is that all?" Wart gasped, his cheeks turning red with embarrassment. Merlin raised his wand with a flourish. "Stand back," he commanded. A golden glow surrounded Sir Ector, and the creaking, groaning armor began to fall away. Clank, clink, clang! As the last piece of armor tumbled to the ground, Sir Ector staggered forward, rubbing his sore shoulders. "Oh, thank you, Merlin," he sighed. "I thought I'd be stuck like that forever." Wart grinned. "See, I told you Merlin would fix it." But Sir Ector, ever practical, furrowed his brow. "This was a close call. What if my armor rusts again? Merlin, can't you use some magic to stop it from happening?" Merlin's eyes twinkled, and he stroked his beard thoughtfully. Magic isn't always the best solution, Sir Ector. Sometimes a bit of cleverness can do wonders. He waved his wand again, and with a flash of light, a strange object appeared in Sir Ector's hands. It was a slender cane with a hooked end, wrapped in a shimmering silk fabric. "What's this?" Sir Ector asked, turning the object over in his hands. "Press the golden button," Merlin instructed. Sir Ector hesitated, then pressed the button. Where? The silk unfurled with a soft whoosh, revealing a wide circular canopy. Sir Ector stared in awe, his mouth hanging open. "It's an umbrella," Merlin declared, beaming with pride. "Next time you venture into the snow, hold this over yourself. It will keep you and your armor dry." Sir Ector looked dubious. "An umbrella? But such a peculiar thing. Will anyone understand its purpose?" Merlin chuckled. "Oh, worry not, dear knight. Many years will pass before anyone else invents such a device. You'll be ahead of your time." Wart clapped his hands in delight. "You're brilliant, Merlin. This is even better than magic." Merlin smiled warmly at the boy. "Remember, Wart, the greatest magic of all is the ability to think creatively. That's a skill you'll need one day when you're king." Wart's eyes widened. "When I'm... what?" "Ah, nothing, nothing," Merlin said, waving his hand dismissively. He turned back to Sir Ector. "Now do take care of that umbrella. It's one of a kind." As the snow began to ease, the three stood together in the clearing, laughter ringing out into the crisp winter air. Sir Ector raised the umbrella high, shielding them all from the last few falling snowflakes. And so, with wisdom, ingenuity, and a little laughter, Merlin turned a small mishap into a memorable moment, one of many that would shape the lives of the future king and his companions.